Hey, welcome. Okay, so today in this series, we're starting a whole week of inspiration to get you to open up your chakras by sharing how each one can 10 times in this one, we're doing 10 times your happiness. Because when your root chakra is healed and balanced and open, you will have 10 times the amount of happiness because you're going to feel safe, secure. You're not going to have that feeling of anxiety that haunts you. And I know this firsthand. We know this firsthand because my husband, when we moved up to Montana, he felt so grounded. His root chakra was completely balanced for once in his life. And it's amazing how much happier he was and how much more he could enjoy his life. So, real quick,
if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel really quick and drop a like to help share this video with more people. And if this is your first time here we help you on your journey to higher consciousness so you can experience more joy, love, and emotional liberation.
And please be sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single one of our videos.
Maybe drop a comment if you like this. Tell us what you want more of.
So specifically speaking, the root chakra is located at our tailbone, right? And it's the color red, and but that stuff doesn't really matter because the key thing that the root chakra teaches us and how it matters in our life is that, like you said, it's our sense of groundedness, it's our sense of security. And a lot of times when we have an imbalanced root chakra, it causes us to live our life in a constant state of anxiety and stress, and that could be a subconscious state of anxiety and stress.
Yeah, and then also really important too is that the root chakra is your first chakra, and that means it's the first thing you have to handle before you can have all these other amazing things in life that are also important to our happiness, like creativity, self-expression, living your purpose, living aligned with what you want, knowing what you want, setting boundaries. It all starts with knowing your root chakra and healing it. And you have to heal your root chakra to live fulfilled.
So starting with that root chakra, this is part of the 3 body chakras. And in order for us to go and live our purpose or do bold, brave things or really just have self-love or self-worth, we need to feel safe. And in the world today, sometimes that's a little bit harder. And then, society before 2020 had kind of ingrained in us this feeling of high alert all the time. It wanted you to be scared. You didn't even know what you're supposed to be scared of. I mean, maybe the nice thing is now for a lot of people, they have something to attach that fear to. But I know firsthand a lot of people that I'm close to are just used to being constantly on high alert, vigilant. They jump at the littlest noise. I know, if you listen to our Defy the Norm podcast, Victor shared so many stories about how every time we would travel, we get to a new spot and he didn't know what he was worried about, but he was just worried. And so by healing this, you all of a sudden can, walk into a new environment, go to a new destination, have new interactions, maybe even create new goals for yourself in life because you can do it from a space of harmony, of inner peace, of knowing that things were going to work out. And so maybe some tips on just a little bit of how one step to
definitely. I mean, I think Isabel can say that better than I can because Isabel's so good at giving you guys the tangible practices. But one thing I would note about the root chakra is we are so, other than the fact that we have this anxiety and stress and everyone seems to be anxious and stressed, everyone's also distracted all the time. And like you said, where the little sound distracts you, aligning with your root chakra allows you to key in on what really matters to you so that you can think about what your intention in life is, your goals and your creativity is, and you can really step into your full power of focus so that you can actually get things done in your life and you can take aligned action.
Yes, beautifully said. And another thing too is that while the chakras are technically these energy hubs in our body, they can seem like spiritual juju, they're influencing our physical bodies on a huge degree. And that's why I think the root chakra is so important because your stress is playing a role on your physical health. And it's true because you have 2 nervous systems. There's 3, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to talk about 2, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. And as a society, we tend to stay in our parasympathetic, I believe. And sympathetic, gone backwards. Just that's why I asked. Sympathetic. And so that means we're in a constant state of high stress. We get up and we're told that we have to get to work on time, we have to take care of our needs, and it's good to get into this high stress at some point, but we're getting into it way too fast. And this is because we have unbalanced root chakras. Our root chakra is making it so we get up and we go straight into that stress state and then we don't get out of it. And so this makes it so we can't sleep good, we can't digest our food well, and we have low energy. So by balancing your root chakra, we can activate our other nervous system and make it so that we can sleep better, be fully rested, have the energy to show up in our day as our best self, and the energy to take care of ourselves and digest our food better, which will help us have a healthier physical body.
And you'll see some of this in actually in your physical body. You'll be able to see, like, say, pigeon. You know, if you know the pose pigeon, it's really tight on your hips at first, and you go to do pigeon, and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, this doesn't hurt as much as it normally does, or I can go deeper. Now, hips do tend to be a little bit more sacral chakra. However, remember what we said, the root chakra is the start of that. So you're not going to be able to work into that space of the hips if the sacral chakra is so tight. So one of the things is just working on, do pigeon today. See what that feels like. If you're like, oh my gosh, no way, Robin, that like is too intense. Maybe crisscross applesauce and fold forward and getting into that space. But also, you know, when you do our chakra healing course, we have all these mantras. And I know it sounds silly that, oh, if I just repeat this saying, I am safe, I am secure, that's going to do it. But it does. It trains your subconscious brain, and you start reprogramming yourself. And it's something little, but it really can play a big role in your life. So,
and one more thing I would say, if you want to balance your root chakra today and you feel like you don't know exactly, okay, what should I do? Highly recommend that the first step is just doing self-care. So definitely, if you know your Enneagram, check out our Enneagram videos on our YouTube here and see what you need to do for self-care, because that's the first step to balancing your root chakra. And I know for me, what I need to do to balance my root chakra as a type 9 is so different than what Gabby needs to do to balance hers, or what you need to do for yours.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to see all of our practices, you can check out our chakra healing course, because our chakra healing course really allows you to unblock all of them in the course of 1 week, only 1 week, and there's so many fun activities. So
yeah, to wrap that up, the little mindfulness tip that you take is, am I anxious? Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure? And if you notice that you're jumpy, that you're a little bit on edge, you're worrying all the time, you're not sleeping great, then it's a great indicator that you should take some time, heal that root chakra. And I want to tell you that it is absolutely attainable for you, because I think if most people, you know, especially if you're a type 6, you've lived your life always with a lot of overactive energy going into that root chakra. So our little making mindfulness fun tip today is like, yes, anybody can heal the root chakra. Okay, even if you're a type 6, even if you're wired for to attract yourself to stress and worry, I promise you can do it. It's not just type 8s who are like, oh, everything's gonna be fine.
So,
is that good? Nice wrap for today. All right, join us tomorrow. We're going to show you how to 10 times your self-worth.